gather around, because we're about to talk about the legend of Adol the Red. Let's get into it. Before we kick this video off, I was not provided a review copy of this game by NIS America. This is actually a game that I bought myself, and I decided, even though I don't really have a working relationship with NIS America anymore, that because I love Nihon Falcon games, that it was just me needing to do my due diligence of reviewing a franchise that I am incredibly passionate about. That is none other than Ys, a series that is older than myself, and I'm in my 30s. Like, I literally grew up with this franchise, and I'm incredibly happy that another entry has been released. You know, this originally came out in 2019 on the PlayStation 4 in Japan, and then as of this year, in February 6th or February 2nd, depending on where you are, it is released worldwide. And yeah, this is a continuation of the long-running franchise. There have been 10 canonical entries. There have been many games that have been brought in, removed, put back in, replaced, revamped over the years, and here we are, finally, a story that takes place after Ys VII, which was for the longest time, from 2009, 2010 to now, was officially the latest installment in the Ys saga. And now we have a game that takes place after that, and I'm excited for the new entry, Ys IX Monstrum Nox. What's up, everybody? I'm Mikhail Kasanova, Hawaii content creator, host of Hawaii's #1 podcast, the Kasanova Podcast. I stream every single week on twitch.tv/Mikhail Kasanova, so catch me over there. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel, ding the notification bell, that way you stay up to date on all the latest and greatest content that comes from this channel. So with that being said, the question now lies, is Ys IX the long-awaited sequel to cap off and exceed what Ys VIII Lacrimosa of DANA achieved, or is it just another Ys V Lost Kingdom of Death? For those who know, it was terrible. For those who don't know, that's a title that Nihon Falcon doesn't even talk about themselves. Monstrum Nox kicks off with wandering adventurer Adol Christian and longtime companion and best friend Dogi the Wall Crusher, traveling to Balduke, better known as the Prison City, which is under Roman control and is to the northeast of Asteria in the Gillian region. Upon arriving to the city, Adol and Dogi see that there is a commotion at the gate and head forward to see what is going on, only to have Adol arrested and accused of being responsible for the disappearance of a Roman fleet during a voyage across the Atlas Ocean. During his escape, Adol happens across a mysterious cloaked woman known as Aprilis and is then shot with a bullet from her gun and is then cursed, allowing him to turn into a being known as a monstrum, called the Crimson King. Upon escape, Adol finds himself caught up in a war between the cryptic prison city of Balduke and his hieroglyph knights versus the monstrum. What fate befalls Adol in this most perilous of adventures and his fabled legend? There's only one way to find out, and honestly, this is as much of the story as I'm going to reveal, because it's really a great story that I think that you guys need to go in and experience. This is as much as we're going to cover here. So, move on to gameplay. If you love the Ys series and love Ys VIII Lacrimosa of DANA, then you'll love this game, as it basically takes the groundwork and foundation that game laid out while intermixing aspects of Ys Memories of Celceta and Ys VII, and brings it all together to deliver one of the best Ys games ever made. You can run, sprint, attack, jump, dodge roll, and more. Everything that you were able to do in Ys VIII you can do in this game. So the question now is that if you can basically do everything in this game that you were able to do in Ys VIII Lacrimosa of DANA, then is this anything more than just a glorified update of a game that is, at the time of this recording, a 4-year-old game? Well, it's much more than just an update. This game, Ys IX Monstrum Nox, is an entirely fully fledged sequel. It takes everything you loved about that, takes it up 10 notches. It takes everything you hated about Ys VIII and Ys Memories of Celceta, as well as Ys VII, throws those out the window and delivers an even better package overall. Getting ahead of myself, so back to the review. The first of many new abilities that you gain is the Crimson Line, which, if you've ever played Devil May Cry 4 or 5, then you'll be familiar with Nero's ability with his Devil Bringer. It allows him to snatch himself to different environments. In this case, Adol is able to use that ability to propel himself towards red highlighted areas almost instantaneously. You can use Crimson Line not only for getting around the environment quickly, but also to be able to close the gap between you and your enemy, allowing you to continue your combo strings of attacks. This feature is especially useful when you're in the tower defense mode, where you have to protect a pillar from oncoming hordes of enemies, and you need to get back to that to protect it and stave off enemies with ease. Each character will fall under one of the 3 different damage types: slash, strike, and pierce, which operates in a rock, paper, scissors type of deal, with each one having more effectiveness over certain enemies than the other attack. Slash, for example, is effective against the majority of enemies that you'll encounter and is most effective against fleshy or soft enemies. Strike works best when encountering enemies that are armored, such as crustaceans and the like. Finally, we have Pierce, which is best used against any of the numerous aerial enemies like birds and bats, especially the returning bat boss from Ys VIII. The game gives you a great selection of characters to choose from, with the series hero Adol, complete with everything he had in Lacrimosa of DANA, as well as several new moves in his Crimson King Monstrum form, with skills like Demonic Pierce, Abyssal Blade, Rising Smash, and more. Other characters you can unlock are Krisha, the White Cat, who is this game's hand-to-hand brawler that allows you to smash hard-shelled enemies and break through their defense. Credo, or Hawk, is a dual blade user who is able to utilize techniques to pierce enemies and damage them with rapid stabbing and slashing. There are several more characters that you can gain as the story goes on, such as Adol, Raging Bull, Renegade, and Aprilis, each with their own strengths and weaknesses. Each character has skills that they can learn as they level up and find various items throughout the game. You can assign up to 4 skills for each character to be set to any of the 4 face buttons, being square, circle, triangle, and cross. You can switch between any of the 3 active party members with ease by pressing the circle button to change up your offensive tactics and be able to bring the pain. For the remaining 2 AI controlled companions, you can press the left section of the D-pad on either your DualShock 4 or DualSense controller if you are playing this on the PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 5 respectively, allowing you to designate to your allies if you want them to focus on offense or defense. Offense will have them focusing on sticking with you and relentlessly attacking, while defense will have them focusing on evading enemy attacks and staying alive. Quite honestly, this is one of the best companion AIs that I've ever experienced in the game, where I never have to worry about the AI doing something dumb and costing me a companion. Honestly, you know how many games I played with co-op where I'm losing just precious resources? Like this game, I don't have to worry about anyone. Literally, the AI takes care of the other people, and absolutely love it for being able to do that. Turning from previous Ys games are the flash move and flash guard techniques. Executed in the same way as they were done in Ys VIII, flash move and flash guard allow you to get the upper hand on your opponents, allowing you to dish out the pain. Flash move is activated by pressing L1 right before the enemy attack lands on you, and if done properly, you will gain a few moments of invincibility along with a bullet time like slowdown, allowing you to get in tons of hits on enemies. Flash guard allows you to not only avoid taking damage, but also allows you to build up your boost gauge and allows you to deliver some critical hits with all of your attacks for a brief moment. Holding R1 and pressing L1 will cause your character to activate the boost mode, which will allow you to enhance not only your attacks and skills, but also take less damage, recover your SP rate, and restore HP and generally ramp up your character's speed. Activating this function means you will need to build your boost gauge by boosting, which is done by successfully landing attacks on your enemy or using flash guard. Your boost gauge will deplete if you never end up activating it, so do be aware of that. Extra skills are activated by holding R1 and pressing L1 after activating boost mode and allow you to activate the most devastating attacks for each of your characters and leveling the surrounding enemies in the environment. Once you activate the extra skill, you will see a cut-in animation, and that will lead to your character doing their move, and once finished, it will fully drain your boost gauge. While roaming about the city and fields, you'll come across various black sphere pillars which will bring about Lumaries, which will switch you from your regular form to your monstrum form to do battle with the demons of Monstrum Nox. As you continue to defeat more and more of the Lumaries, you'll eventually start building up your Nox gauge. Once filled, will bring about miasma vortexes that act as barriers to progressing in the city and surrounding areas. You'll need to enter the miasma vortexes and conquer the Grimwald Nox within to progress in the story and explore new areas. Each miasma vortex will have information as to what you will be facing, as well as the recommended level you should be at before attempting to enter it. Quests are available both at the bulletin board at the Dandelion or found in the city by approaching NPCs with a green exclamation point over their heads. Examining quests at the bulletin board will give you all the pertinent story information for the quest, from the client's name to the priority of the quest, the deadline to complete it, and the reward for doing so. I highly implore you to do the side quests in the game, because not only do they explore and open up more of the city of Belduc, but they also give you more of an insight into each of the individual characters, from the NPCs to the characters that you have in your party, as well as even insights into Adol's personality, his thoughts, and his feelings towards situations that occur. So you need to do these side quests, or at least I think you should do them. And the other thing is, if you don't do them within the time slot or within the chapter, then you do lose out on the ability to do them at all. However, if you want to pick up items that are specific to quests or specific to certain dungeons, and you miss them the first time around, you can always go to the shady dealer and be able to get it from him, although it's going to be a pretty penny to get it from him, but at least you do have the option. While I could continue on about the various aspects of this game's gameplay, I'd rather you dive in and find out more about this title for yourself as you play it. Just know that there's so much more to this game than first meets the eye, as completing this game will take you well over 40 hours in your first try. Also, if you have a save file of either Ys VIII Lacrimosa of DANA or Ys Memories of Salsetta, then you will receive in-game bonus items of the Old Seal Ring from Ys VIII and the Salsettan Wreath from Memories. Both of these games, along with all the others, are heavily referenced in this game. Although you should be aware that you don't have to have played any of the other games. It does allude to his previous adventures, but it's not a requirement to understand this. So don't ever feel like, oh, I'm going into Ys IX and I can't keep playing it because I don't understand the story. Each game, while connected, is standalone, save for Ys Origins 1, 2, and to a greater extent 3 and 4, although Origins 1 and 2 are directly tied to one another in a progressing order of story. Graphically speaking, this game, if you compare it to other modern games like Ghost of Tsushima, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Resident Evil 2 and 3 Remake, won't win any awards in the graphics department. Hell, even Trails of Mana, Dragon Quest XI, and Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity all look a lot better than this game. However, that does not mean that this is a bad looking game by any means. Yes, it does have a lot of stilted animation and reused assets from previous games and the Trails of Cold Steel series. And yet, even in saying that, it still is a very beautiful game in its own right. It has a vibrancy and charm to it that a lot of modern games don't, and I love it all the more for it. The character models from the main characters like Adol in both his normal and disguised forms, as well as his Monstrum Crimson King form, look really good and are very detailed, while the NPCs will often reuse the same models over and over, with some story characters such as Tito's dad sharing the same character model as innumerable Belduc citizens. There's also the draw distance and texture pop-in that happens, and honestly, it can be shocking to see that in a title that's just for the sake of simplicity, say this is a current generation title. For whatever reason, there's so much like pop-in. I don't understand why you're seeing, it's almost like assets are loading in as the game, as you approach certain areas. Like if you go further enough away from them, they'll disappear. The closer you get, they'll pop in. And I think it's very strange that it does that. And then there's also the weird hazy fog dithering that it does, and I don't know why it does that either. You would think for a game of this, for a franchise of this caliber and a game of this caliber, that they would not have those type of technical issues. I mean, to be honest, this is not being developed for the PlayStation Vita. This is being developed originally for PlayStation 4 and downscale to the Nintendo Switch, but this is coming off like this is being, developed for the PlayStation Vita. So I don't understand that. Those issues aside, the game's world feels very much alive with what is honestly the first ever Ys title to have so many NPCs that are walking around in a bustling town, ever. Not even Ys VII or Memories of Salsetta or even Lacrimosa of DANA achieved this. Yes, there's jam. here and there, but this honestly leaves me excited for what is to come in future installments in the franchise on a next generation engine. Now, okay, we got to talk about audio because look, you can't talk about a Falcom game without talking about the music. Look, Ys IX Monstrum Nox is a Falcom game through and through. This music is god tier. There is not a single bad track in this game, as each song fits the gothic setting and scenes perfectly. The music has a plethora of composers from Mitsuo Singa, Yukihiro Jundo, Hayato Sonoda, Takahiro Unisuka, who have delivered on every front, from screaming metal guitar riffs to upbeat melodic tunes, all the way to gothic and ominous melodies inviting mystery and intrigue. While there is no equivalent to Ys VIII's Sunshine Coastline, the closest this game gets to that timeless theme is Heartbeat Shaker, which, while very good in its own right, doesn't reach to the heights of Sunshine Coastline in catchiness. The main theme of the game, being Aprilis, composed by Takahiro, delivers in so many ways with a haunting and majestic organ-filled melody that, if you listen closely enough, tells a tragic tale of our heroine, Aprilis, and her fated meeting with Adol the Red. Simply put, Falcom needs to go down as the one company in gaming that has, for well over 30 years, continued to pump out the most amazing music in gaming. There's absolutely no way that you can listen to this OST and not be drawn into how amazing it is. Now, look, I need you to do something right now. Stop listening to this review and go and listen to Forgotten Days, Invitation to Crimson Night, or even Greya Recollection. Hayato Sonoda just absolutely kills it. Better yet, go listen to Strategic Zone by Yukihiro Jundo and then talk to me. There's no way you're not going to like these tunes. As far as downsides goes, there's only two negatives I have with this game in its entirety. One, the frequent crashes that I experienced playing this on my PlayStation 5 caused me to lose a lot of progress. And the second issue being the very low quality compressed videos for when you enter the plasma vortexes and Aprilis delivers a repeated speech before you engage in the tower defense battle. I have no idea how no one at NIS America or Falcom didn't QA test this game for the crashing issues on PlayStation 5. Honestly, if XSEED was still handling the Ys franchise, this would be something that you would never, ever get in a game released by them. It would come day one, out the gate, out the box, out the cart, out the CD, playing perfectly. Calling a spade and keeping a buck a buck. NIS America just isn't the greatest when it comes to their quality when they release their game. Look at the original release of Ys VIII, Lacrimosa of DANA, and we can talk. I've heard many say that they did not experience any issues with the game crashing for them on PlayStation 4, PlayStation 4 Slim, or on PlayStation 4 Pro. Yet, I've also heard just as many, if not more, have frequent crashing on the same platform. So I'm not sure what exactly is causing these issues. All I do know is that NIS America and Falcom better be putting out a patch to fix this, because the amount of progress that I've lost because this game just up and crashes is absolutely ridiculous. Granted, I am playing a pre-release version of this game without the day one patch, but it is still annoying. Okay. Here's the wrap up. Here's the rub. Ys IX Monstrum Nox is a 2021 Game of the Year contender. Seriously, go and buy this game, as it's hands down one of the greatest action RPGs out there and one of the very best in the Ys series. If you felt that Ys VIII was amazing with its amazing content and gameplay, then you'll most definitely love Ys IX. For many, Ys VIII was their first entry into the franchise, and is for many longtime series vets like myself, one of the most cherished entries in the series. As much as I love Ys VIII, Ys IX is that much grander and better. With a phenomenal story, fantastically written characters, a sprawling world to explore, dungeons to raid, baddies to put down, and some of the best, most fluid gameplay in any action RPG that doesn't forget that it is a video game, Ys IX Monstrum Nox is a game you must own. If you have a PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 5, there is no reason why that you don't own this game. This is a great first step into the grander vision of what Ys is going to become in the years ahead of us. I mean, can you imagine if we get an Ys game that is an open world in the scale of like a, I don't know, like a Elder Scrolls or a Witcher 3? Can you imagine Ys being like in an open world environment like the Witcher 3 Wild Hunt? I think that would be absolutely mind-blowing to have that open world of an Ys game. Of course, it would have to be like one of the, you know, the greatest Ys stories ever told, and then the R&D to go into making something like that from a smaller company like Nihon Falcom is very unlikely. But I mean, come on, if Nintendo can change up the Zelda formula and present us with Breath of the Wild, then I think Nihon Falcom can do that with Ys and give us something that is truly beyond anything we can ever expect. So with that being said, that's it. That's the review for Ys IX Monstrum Nox. What do you guys think? Do you guys have this? Did you pick it up? Is it something that you've been waiting on for the last several years to come out? Did you play the original Japanese version? Did you love it, hate it? Whatever your thoughts are, let's get the conversation going down below. And if you want to take the conversation further, I do have a Discord. Link for the Discord is down below in the description. If you want to pick up this game, I do have Amazon affiliate links, so you can go and purchase it. It doesn't cost you anything extra, but it does assist with bringing more revenue into the channel so that we can create more and more content, as this is my full-time career. And if you want more information regarding the Ys franchise, make sure you go and check out Digital Emelas. It's the most comprehensive source for the Ys franchise across the board. There's really nothing you're going to find that tops them. They're essentially, in my opinion, what is keeping Ys relevant to this day. So if you want to know the background, the lore, and all that, go over to their website. Link for that is down below. And also check out my Ys timeline series. I've got the first episode out, and more episodes are going to be coming where I'm covering from the beginning of the world until the latest adventures that come out. So link for that will also be down below. And with that being said, I'm Mikhail Kasanova, Hawaii content creator, host of Hawaii's #1 podcast and the #1 podcast in the Pacific, the Kasanova Podcast, available on all major podcasting outlets. I stream every single week on twitch.tv/Mikhail Kasanova, so catch me over there. And if you've gotten this far and you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel, ding the notification bell, that way you stay up to date on all the latest and greatest content that comes from this channel. That being said, I hope you guys have a great one. I hope you go and pick up this game because it's simply phenomenal. And most of all, I hope you enjoy your time in gaming, because at the end of the day, gaming is supposed to be enjoyed. So that being said, deuces wow, too sweet, be the elite. See you in the next one. Peace. Hey, you made it to the end of the video. I really want to say mahalo and gracias for doing so. It is truly amazing that I have people that actually enjoy my content. I mean, you made it to the end of the video, so I assume you enjoyed it. If you didn't, hey, there's a dislike button you can always hit. I know, you know, some people like to do that, but hey, whatever. I just am appreciative of the fact that you came through, you watched it, you got to this point. If you want to do me a solid, go ahead and hit the like button if you really liked it. And if you loved it, go ahead and sub for more content like this. If you want to support my work, we've got channel memberships, we got Patreon, and all that will pop up somewhere on the screen here and linked down below. Your support means a lot to me. If you know someone who would enjoy this type of content, go ahead and share it. That's what matters most. You guys watching it and sharing it with someone who might enjoy it, a friend, who knows. With that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Mahalo again, gracias, and fa'afatai. I will see you on the next one. Yeah, there's 3 different languages I spoke there. So Hawaiian, Spanish, and Samoan. So gives you a little detail as to what I'm mixed with. But with that being said, I'll see you guys on the next one. Y'all stay blessed, stay safe, and yeah, happy gaming, happy streaming. Have a good one.